Ask the Messengers, the program that deals with substance abuse, real people telling real stories. Where there is addiction, there is a chance for recovery. We're trying to help save lives on Ask the Messengers.
I have a gambling problem.
I have a gambling problem.
I have a gambling problem.
I'm their gambling problem.
There's a saying, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. Well, casinos are everywhere now, and you can gamble just about anywhere if you own a cell phone, laptop, iPad, or a tablet. In fact, in the United States, gambling is legal in 48 states in some capacity, and only Utah and Hawaii have a 100% ban on it. Today on the Ask the Messengers TV show, you will hear from a few people who share their stories about how gambling addictions destroyed their lives and how they are living their life now without gambling. The Ask the Messengers TV show begins now.
All right, I am a Macomb County treatment provider for the state of Michigan problem gambling program. So we got a statewide problem gambling program. Perhaps you've seen some of the television commercials, radio spots. Our 800 numbers on the back of lottery tickets is all over the casino. So I'm a treatment provider for that program, but I am also a licensed substance abuse treatment program too. So here in Live Right, I do mostly problem gambling, and I work with a lot of people in recovery. And by the way, our program is free, so it's a state-funded program. But in addition, I also do some group therapy, and I may be doing some IOP work here in the Live Right building. A lot of people in 12-step recovery prided themselves as not having gambling issues when they were in their active addiction. And when we look at what's happening with that, roughly about 15% out of every 100 alcoholic addicts also report to have gambling issues. And the reason that number is fairly low is that when they're in their active addiction, they can't afford a gambling addiction too. So if you're, say, a heroin or cocaine, those primary addictions take up all of your resources. So many people that eventually get clean, get sober, drift into problem gambling. And the perception that it's really a problem isn't quite there because they've done such a fine job getting clean and sober that they don't think that if they did have a gambling problem, they would need a professional intervention. And basically because with gambling, their clean sober date doesn't change, it's not really perceived to be that big of a problem. So I work with a lot of people in 12-step recovery that have clean sober sometimes for years, but my specialty is dealing with the gambling that often emerges long after that clean sober beginning. We used to say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Not today. Today, what happens in Vegas is happening in Michigan. It's happening in Ohio. It's happening in Pennsylvania. It is a nationwide, actually a worldwide phenomenon. And so gambling has just exploded in the last 20 years across this country. And most people don't really perceive it to be the problem that I know it is. Yes, I got 28 years clean and sober. I got involved in 12-step recovery some years ago coming out of a state institution. I gambled for the first 4 years in my recovery, patting myself on the back. What a wonderful job I was doing, staying clean and sober. I enrolled in college, and yet I was still gambling. Almost 25 years ago, I married a recovering addict. And we got married in Las Vegas, Nevada, where my family to this day resides. My family lives in Las Vegas. So I got a long history of gambling. I never really thought it was quite the problem that my drinking and drugging was. But 4 years clean, I got married in Las Vegas, and during my honeymoon, I lost thousands and thousands of dollars at the tables in Vegas. And some of the money I lost was a wedding gift. And so 4 years into my recovery, one day into a marriage, losing thousands of dollars, I had to get honest with myself because I knew that gambling was a quiet issue with me all along. Coincidentally, when I quit gambling, it was in 1995, Michigan was starting to gear up to have some treatment response to what we perceived to be the legalization of Detroit casinos. So in 1995, the casinos was passing through different legislation. We're going to have these casinos in Detroit. So there was a group of professionals traveling around, and they came here to Michigan in preparation to the state having gambling in Detroit. We wanted to have some treatment professionals in place to treat what we would estimate would be the problem gamblers. So I got involved in the first wave of problem gambling therapy treatments as a substance abuse provider. I was already doing alcohol and drug addiction, but in 1995 I got involved with the state problem gambling program, and that was coincidentally the year that I decided to stop gambling on my own for me. So a couple different things were happening. This is a hidden addiction. It is not the lead-in story of the nightly news. It's not tomorrow's newspaper headlines, but many people are suffering from problem gambling in darkness and secrecy. It is a hidden addiction. Right now we have the big war on opiates and fentanyl and heroin, and the government is going after pharmaceutical companies and doctors and pharmacists that prescribe these type of drugs, right? But at the same time, our government is in partnership with modern gaming. So on the one hand, we have a war on drug addiction, but on the other hand, we are promoting gambling in every conceivable fashion, from the lotteries to the scratch-offs to the Kenos. These are all state-run gaming entities, to the casinos, to the fantasy sports, to the internet gambling, to the horse. We've never had more gambling in the history of the world, in the entire world, as we do today. And everything is legal, everything is socially acceptable, everything is widely available. And so I'm dedicated to having some type of a treatment response for Metro Detroit. That's what I'm all about. And the state of Michigan. Now, we also have the Michigan Association of Problem Gambling. You can look on the web. And again, we have the state program. The phone number is 800-270-7117. That's the statewide problem gambling number. And again, this is funded treatment, so nobody is turned away. You can call that 800 number, and again, that number is on the back of every lottery ticket. That's on television commercials, radio commercials. The statewide program is advertised. It's at the casino. So we're easy to access.
I lost all my college savings to gambling. Now I don't have money to provide for my future.
I lost my car to gambling. Now I have to ride the bus 10 miles to get to work.
I lost my home to gambling. Now I'm sleeping on the couch in my parents' basement.
I lost my family to gambling. Now I have to pay for a divorce and I don't get to see my kids. When you gamble, you risk throwing everything away. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call the National Problem Gambling Hotline, 1-800-522-4700.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
Hi, my name is Artesia Washington, and I'd like to welcome you to Irvine Newer Rehab, where we help you reach your goals of rehabilitation. So you ask, why choose Irvine? Now here at Irvine, we offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology, counseling, aquatic therapy, and massage therapy. And we help build you back to your previous level of functioning. Give us a call, 248-415-2500, www.irvineneurorehab.com.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
Underage drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths of youth annually. DWIHN, along with its provider partners, strive to educate young people on the deadly dangers of alcohol use and abuse. We teach youth about the dangers of drinking, especially when driving. If you are looking for resources to share with your loved one, give the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network a call, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help. More than 2.5 million Americans are addicted to opioids. The addiction is sometimes developed through the improper use of prescription painkillers. Using prescribed medication in ways or amounts not intended by a doctor is very dangerous. So it's important that unused prescriptions are properly disposed of. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, or for more information about prevention, treatment, and recovery services, or how to properly dispose of medication, contact the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help.
Ask the Messengers TV show has supported and saved thousands of people in the community from alcohol and drug addiction. Now, Ask the Messengers is in desperate need of being saved itself. Our damaged roof and interior repairs have caused us to put a halt to all of our programs. Now we're asking for your help. Please donate to our GoFundMe drive by going to AskTheMessengers.org so we can continue to help save lives.
Ask the Messengers is a nonprofit 501c3 organization.
I'm originally from India. It was a shock to me when my partner was affected. It took me some time before I actually came to know about it. Unfortunately, I did not know about any services or how to seek help, what to do. I couldn't understand why or how it happened. Others couldn't understand either, and there was a lot of blame and shame going on. So there was even more reason to kind of keep it within the four walls. I was isolated because I couldn't speak about it to anybody. It affected not only me but extended families, and I would say the most affected probably would be my child, who has to live with a broken family. So yeah. I had to take some drastic steps. After my separation, I got to know more about it because I was curious and I just wanted to find some answers. Thankfully, subsequently, I have learned a lot. Even though it was a bad experience, it was an experience which I'm trying to utilize so it can benefit others. And subsequently, I started volunteering and then working in the field. You don't need to keep it to yourself. Seek help. The earlier you seek help, the less drastic measures you would need to take later on. Resolve the issue instead of just thinking that it will just disappear one day. It's not going to disappear.
Gambling gave me a sense of purpose. It gave me a sense of identity. The fact that I would be a person who could be seen by others as like, oh, that guy's a multimillionaire, and all he does is play poker. He must be so good at it. I would spend my entire paycheck over the course of a weekend trying to chase my debts. But a lot of times I would leave $0 in my pocket. My mind would start to beat myself up. Why'd you do that? You owe this money. You should have just paid this guy. Now you're in it so much worse. And it was just such a terrible way to live. I couldn't stop though. I just always thought if all I did was win, if I just win one tournament, if I win this $1 million, no one will be mad at me anymore. I'll be the person that people envy my life. I finally had a realization that everything that I had tried to do wasn't working. And maybe I'm the problem. And so I decided that I was going to go to rehab for the first time on my own will. And I'm contemplating all these suicidal thoughts. And I'm just thinking back to my life that I've lived again. Nothing I've ever done has been worth anything. And that was very heartbreaking to me, that realization in that moment. God erased it. And eventually, it wasn't something that I did. It was God just saying, okay, I'm going to take this off. You know, you don't want it anymore. I see that you don't want it. Now it's gone.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available. If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
If you or someone you know is battling with any type of cancer, you need to read the book by Laverne Moore Slaughter, God Encounters Are Real. In her book, she tells how through prayer and faith, God healed her and set her free from stomach cancer. For more information and to get your copy, visit www.encountersarereal.net.
Underage drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths of youth annually. DWIHN, along with its provider partners, strive to educate young people on the deadly dangers of alcohol use and abuse. We teach youth about the dangers of drinking, especially when driving. If you are looking for resources to share with your loved one, give the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network a call, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help. More than 2.5 million Americans are addicted to opioids. The addiction is sometimes developed through the improper use of prescription painkillers. Using prescribed medication in ways or amounts not intended by a doctor is very dangerous. So it's important that unused prescriptions are properly disposed of. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, or for more information about prevention, treatment, and recovery services, or how to properly dispose of medication, contact the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help.
Hi, my name is Brenda Owens. I work at Greenfield Hair Collections, and I love doing hair. I've been doing it for almost 30 years now, actually. And I do a little bit of everything. This style right here is a pin curl. This is my weekly client, Lenise, short and sassy. She just got a fresh haircut last week. The name of the salon is Greenfield Hair Collections. We're located on Greenfield between Outer Drive and Curtis. I'm on the second level. My name is Brenda. My phone number is 313-729-8194. Give me a call. I love what I do.
Ask the Messengers TV show has supported and saved thousands of people in the community from alcohol and drug addiction. Now, Ask the Messengers is in desperate need of being saved itself. Our damaged roof and interior repairs have caused us to put a halt to all of our programs. Now we're asking for your help. Please donate to our GoFundMe drive by going to AskTheMessengers.org. so we can continue to help save lives.
Ask the Messengers is a nonprofit 501c3 organization.
I'd like to take this moment to read a letter from someone who shared a brief bit of their gambling addiction. There was only one remedy, according to my brain: change my seat and do it again and again until I became the big winner. I don't have to tell you that I left the casino frustrated and with $0 in my pocket. In chasing the money I had lost, I went to the ATM, took another $200 from my bank account, and lost that as well, all while chasing that high of winning. The regret, shame, and guilt all came to me instantly on the way home. The next day, I was already contemplating going back. I started thinking that I would forget about that unlucky day. I thought, today, it will be all different. Signed, I am a gambling addict. As you've heard today, gambling doesn't only devastate individuals, it is a family issue, because this particular problem directly impacts family and personal finances. Family members who have gambling problems often hide their issue and feel a great deal of shame and secrecy. In severe cases, the problem may go undetected until finances become a major issue. Gambling can destroy relationships, but it is possible to rebuild trust and rebuild finances. No gambling problem has to be permanent. Help is available. And here's some more stories of people who share their gambling addictions.
So the first time that I ever placed a bet in the casino was in Windsor. I'm guessing around 2001, 2002. I wasn't old enough to get into casinos here in America. So they had already built the 3 permanent casinos. Well, not the permanent, but the temporary casinos here in Detroit, which was MGM Grand, Greektown Casino, and Motor City Casino. So I have been seeing these places every day going to school in high school because Cass Tech is right here downtown. So, you know, literally from Cass Tech, you can see Motor City Casino. I'm thinking I was 19, 20 years old. We went over to Windsor, me and my girlfriend at the time, wasn't even my wife, Rita. And I think I brought couldn't have been any more than $150, $200, right? I don't even remember if I won or not. I was immediately taken by the environment, the experience, all the money, all the lights, the glitz and the glamour. And from there, I was just absolutely hooked. Not necessarily with placing bets and gambling itself, but just the lifestyle. Fast forward to 2017, 18, 19, and probably a little bit before that, the casinos started acknowledging me as a high roller. They started inviting me to special events. They started giving me free everything. And I'm not even talking about comps. I'm talking about front row seats to everything, hotel rooms as much as I wanted, all the events. They even offered me a free Cadillac. You're talking about a lifestyle where literally you can do and have anything. Now, the misconception a lot of times is that these are free perks. They are not free, right? You are putting money in action, which means that the house always has an edge unless you count cards. It's not free. You're paying for it one way or another. It's not healthy. It's a toxic environment, and that the ups and downs, thankfully I never gambled more than I could afford to lose. You get addicted to the lifestyle. Some people get addicted to the chance of winning. I get addicted to the action. I just like having a lot of money in play. I liked having a lot of money in my pocket, playing on the table, being able to call and getting VIP services. You pull up and then you got priority, car parked in the front. I mean, you know, that lifestyle, that fast life, I absolutely positively love it. And that's when I realized that I was addicted to that lifestyle and to going to the casino, essentially addicted to gambling. I'm gonna tell you the big turning point, honestly. I'm just kind of playing poker, really light 1-2, killing time because I have to make a run, but the store don't open till like whatever time in the morning. So I'm just killing time, and I get a text message, right? Text message said, it was something completely unrelated, right? It was something that kind of made me mad as it relates to something somebody else was doing or how somebody was seeing me. And then that set me off. My emotional anger and outburst and everything like that made me just start betting retarded. Like, it was almost like I completely lost my mind, and I wanted something to make me feel better, right? I wanted to take a bunch of money or something like that. So I just started betting completely out of character, right? That's when I realized that I got an issue. And there's some things I'm gonna have to change. This is late 2018. Some things I'm gonna have to change in order to evolve into the person that I wanna be.
Won't you help us to do exactly what our motto is, and that is to help save lives? Won't you send a generous donation to the information there on the screen? We would love to have you as part of our partnership to help save lives. You may not be able to go out in the street, you may not be able to come here to the show, but you can send your donation that helps us save lives.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of the Ask the Messengers TV show, and we hope that we shed some light on gambling and addictions and how it destroyed families, but